There is a specific kind of exhaustion that comes not from doing too much, but from holding too much. You know this feeling. It's 3 a.m. You are staring at a ceiling fan that won't stop spinning. Your mind is racing with a list of tasks that feels impossible. You are drowning in work. The water is rising past your chin. And yet, if someone were to walk into the room right now and ask, "Do you need a hand?" Purely on reflex, before your brain can even process the question, you would snap, "I'm fine, I've got it." Why do we do this? Why does the simple act of needing someone feel less like a logistical request and more like a physical threat? Why does your chest tighten? Why does your pulse spike? You might tell yourself it's because you're a perfectionist, or that it's just easier to do it yourself. You might even wear your independence like a badge of honor. But if we're being honest, it doesn't feel like honor. It feels like a cage. Psychology calls this hyper-independence, and contrary to what society tells you, this is not a personality trait. It is a trauma response. It is a scar that you have mistaken for armor. To understand why you can't ask for help now, we have to look at when you stopped asking then. Usually this starts early. If you suffer from hyper-independence, you were likely a child who learned a very dangerous lesson. You learned that needs equal burden. Maybe you grew up in a chaotic home. Maybe your parents were emotionally unavailable, or perhaps they were overwhelmed themselves. You looked at the adults in the room and you realized they couldn't carry you. In fact, often you had to carry them. Psychologists call this parentification. It's when the roles reverse. You became the little adult, the one who fixed things, the one who mediated arguments, the one who didn't cry because there was no space for your tears. And in that environment, asking for help wasn't just useless, it was dangerous. Because if you asked and were rejected, it confirmed you were alone, or worse, if you asked and it caused stress, you felt guilty. So your developing brain rewired itself. It created a rule to keep you safe. Rule number 1, I will never need anyone. You built a wall, brick by brick, and it worked. It kept you safe, it made you high-achieving, it made you strong. The problem is, you are technically an adult now. You are safe. But your nervous system is still waiting for the other shoe to drop. Let's look at the neuroscience of this. Why does asking for help trigger actual anxiety? When a securely attached person needs help, their brain signals connection. It releases oxytocin. It feels warm. But for you, the hyper-independent, dependency is coded in your amygdala, the fear center of your brain, as a threat to survival. When you have to ask for a favor, your brain doesn't see logistics, it sees debt. You view relationships as transactional. You think, if I ask for this, I will owe them, and if I owe them, I am not free. You are terrified of being a burden, so you hoard tasks, you reject support, you isolate yourself in a fortress of tasks, convinced that if you just work hard enough, you will never have to be vulnerable. But this comes at a terrible cost. It creates what I call the glass wall. You can see other people connecting. You can see them laughing, helping each other, leaning on each other. But you are always on the other side of the glass. You are admired, maybe even respected, but you are not known. Because intimacy requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires needing. If you never need anyone, no one can ever truly love you. They only love the things you do for them. And eventually, the system crashes. Hyper-independence is an energy-expensive state. You are running your engine at redline 24 hours a day just to prove you don't need a mechanic. The symptoms of the crash are subtle at first. It starts with resentment. You start getting angry at the people around you. You look at them, relaxed, asking for help, being needy, and you hate them for it. You think, why are they so lazy? Why do I have to do everything? But you aren't angry because they are lazy. You are angry because they are allowing themselves to be human, and you are not. This resentment turns into burnout, then into isolation, and finally, you find yourself sitting in that chair at 3 a.m., totally alone, convinced that no one cares about you. But they do care. You just haven't let them in. So, how do we break the loop? How do we put down the weight? We have to reframe the goal. For your whole life, you thought the goal was independence, but independence is just a stage. It's what teenagers want. The goal of a mature, healthy adult is interdependence. Interdependence means I can carry my load, but I trust you to help me when I stumble, and I will help you when you stumble. It is not weakness, it is logistics. Start small. This is exposure therapy. Ask for something that doesn't matter. Ask someone to pass the salt. Ask a stranger for the time. Ask a friend to pick a movie. Prove to your amygdala that the world will not end because you had a need. Prove to your nervous system that you can receive without owing a debt. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of that glass wall. A version of you that is rested, connected, and known. But to meet them, you have to do the one thing you promised yourself you'd never do. You have to let go. Put down the weight, Alex. You have carried it long enough. If you felt seen by this video, you aren't alone. We have created a guide on breaking the hyper-independence loop. It's linked below. Subscribe for more deep dives into your own mind. We'll see you next time.